Yeah, that is not a comfortable position to be in.
Nope, but straightforward game. One and done there for Ineffable. He's going to move into the next game versus Snake Hips.
Yep, and Snake Hips, let's see if we have.
We do.
But we do indeed. So, playing for StarCraft Ascension Team B, it is Snake Hips. He's the newest member to the B team, and he's currently one of the top ranked masters in North America. So, SCAB has a lot of confidence in him, and they expect to see a lot of potential from this player. So, we'll see how he's going to be able to play. They're obviously sending him out against some pretty interesting play from Ineffable, so they have confidence in him, and they think that they're going to be able to take another win. The matchup currently is 2-2, so it's a tie game. And this is a best of 9, King of the Hill format. So we got a lot of games left.
You know what we need to do now is we need to give out a code.
That's true.
As we showed earlier, there will be some fun, cool little prizes given away throughout this. Last week, the person won a booster pack of Magic the Gathering Dragon's Maze. He's holding on to his $40 Voice of Resurgence now, I'm sure. But this week, it's going to be a pack of naturally flavored fruit snacks and a marble. Courtesy of Troy, who will be sending this to you via Canada Post. So enjoy that. But if you go to sc2ctl.com/code, most of these prizes are just for fun. Go to sc2ctl.com/code, and the first code of the night is going to be .dot SCAB. I'm going to type it in chat for you. DOTSCAB, all lowercase. The dot is spelled out as a word.
Looks like .scab,
Yep, .scab.
but that is not what it is.
So go to the site, register, and enter for that cool prize, and you will be enjoying some fruit snacks at next week's cast.
That's right, and flipping a marble in your hand, and it'll be a good time.
As we jump into our next game, it is going to be the upper left-hand corner, our pink Zerg.
You know, it looks like you started that game without me in it.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry.
That's all right. It is a
Well,
little hard for me to commentate when I'm at
hate to break it to you, Nick, but you're fired.
Oh, man. I'm going to burn the building down. But we will get that all squared away, and we will move back in. In the meantime, don't forget to check out our Twitter feeds and StarCraft 2 CTL. Don't forget to check out the teams at Pulse Gaming, I believe.
At Pulse Esports.
At Pulse Esports and .scab.
At .SCA.
SCA. Yep.
You are correct.
So you will be able to check them out. You'll be able to see the updates from those teams, and if you follow StarCraft Community Team League, then you will get all the updates on the tournaments when the brackets come out, who we're casting in what week, and all the relevant infos. So.
And now that I restarted the game, I have to reset the scoreboard, so I just flip back here real quick. But you know what? I'm good at this stuff now, so it just takes me a second. I'm ready to go. All right. Starting in our upper left-hand corner, the pink Zerg, resuming from where we left off. He is coming out for StarCraft Ascension to see what he can do against his opponent. It is Snake Hips. Didn't know snakes had hips.
No, apparently they do. In the bottom right-hand corner, in the teal trunks, coming out for Pulse Gaming, seeing if he can take a second win, it is Ineffable.
Thanks, Fosta, for typing that in chat for us. It's at Pulse Esports, at .sca. These two teams are some pretty cool chaps. Friendly battles here we have. All friendly with each other. It's nice to have a manner. Manner is good.
Manner is always good, and you know, talking with the team captains has always been a pleasure with these teams. They have just been a real delight to chat with. Very knowledgeable guys, very friendly guys. So if you have a chance to interact with them at all or their teams, I highly encourage you to do so. They are cool people.
Absolutely. Give them a follow on Twitter for sure. And we are going to have both team captains on with us after the matches today, so stay tuned for that. Pulse captain is going to be joining us first, followed by the StarCraft Alliance captain. Probe coming in to do a little harassment to the drones, say, hey, how you doing? High five. Just checking out to see when that pool is going down, which he sees. So it's going to be a one base pool, 16, fairly standard. Ineffable now has a decision of what to do in this state of the game. Is he going to go Forge first or Nexus first? Looks like he's building on that money, so I'm going to guess it's going to be Nexus first, sending out his probe. We're at 300.
Yep. Getting him in that timing. And
as we saw last game, Ineffable is trying to put the delay on the hatch for a few seconds, but 2 drones down there will limit that as he pokes up to just make sure that it did go down. And again, we're going to play out fairly standard, just fairly similar opening to last game.
Yep, and this is a fairly standard opening in pretty much all Zerg versus Protoss games. Unless you see something really funny coming down the pipes, this is a pretty typical opening.
Troy, aka Iban Wuman, the god of SC2CTL, who will be sending you your fruit snacks, is describing them for you in chat, so I encourage you to check that out. Wet your palate with those delicious fruit snacks. Looks like Ineffable did a solid wall here. So
yeah, I was just going to comment on
gap,
the same thing.
no, there's no gap here.
Nope.
So he definitely did a solid wall. Interested to see what he ends up coming out with.
And Snake Hips is going to scout that with his Overlord.
He's going to see at least the Forge and the Gateway on one side, but he doesn't necessarily see the pylon, although I'm pretty sure he could assume that it's there. He does put down a third base right away, so he's pretty confident in the fact that there's not going to be a lot of aggression coming out from Ineffable at this point. Ineffable hasn't put down any gas yet either. His Gateway is now finishing with no gas.
And that was the smart move by Snake Hips when he saw that that Gateway still hadn't finished yet. You know, he decided to put down that third base because there's really no danger of aggression at this point in the game.
Yeah, there's going to be 8 lings coming on the way. There's not going to be a lot going on, but Ineffable's doing nothing. He's making a cannon in... he's cannon rushing his opponent's hatch. That's what's going on.
And, oh, interesting. Ineffable's only really at about 100 APM at the moment.
Ineffable has been spending most of his money cannon rushing the natural here, but Snake Hips is going to try and defend that. He's got now 2 Zerglings, 1 Zergling trying to take down that cannon. 1 cannon does fall. 2 more are about to spawn though, so
and that
this is going to be a tough spot.
In trouble.
Nice transfuse. So Ineffable's not going to be investing a whole lot back home as he's invested into this cannon rush, but it looks like he's going to be able to get this hatch down, but Snake Hips is going to have 2 hatches still, so...
And he's targeting that pylon. Does lose a queen to a little bit of a miss micro, not getting him out of there fast enough, but those Zerglings are all going to fall, and that queen is not long for this world if it doesn't get out of there.
Oh man, Snake Hips has lost a lot to this already, this being a very productive push for Ineffable. Like, pylon is going to eventually go down, but at what cost?
Yeah, that's a huge win there.
If we look at units lost, it's over $1,000 for Snake Hips and just over 500 for Ineffable. So
that will climb as these cannons fall, not cameras. But still only 762 to 1125. So.
Cannons, the buildings actually don't count towards units lost, but I mean,
no, they did. It was going up when they were dying.
Oh, you're right. I was looking at the other one. So, you know, it worked out in favor of Ineffable for sure, but we'll see to what extent, as Ineffable is just now starting to mine from his gases. He's got only about 120 mined from his main gases and only about 60 mined from his natural. He's going to be chrono boosting out the Stalker and Warp Gate right away as he's behind from investing in that cannon rush, but I guess the position it does leave it in is this third base is a bit exposed at this point.
Snake Hips is making a lot of Zerglings and getting a Baneling nest down, so it looks like he's just going to go for a Baneling bust and try and end this game right here.
Yeah, it's going to be... I mean, Ineffable really has nothing to deal with it, so if he does get a quick Baneling bust out here, it's going to be hard for Ineffable to deal, especially with some good micro and splitting up some Banelings to both bases.
Yep, and this is kind of an all-in from Snake Hips. He's only got 19 drones. There's not really much mining at his third base compared to 45 probes, but there is only 1 Stalker on the field right now.
We have got 3 Stargates coming down from Ineffable.
Ooh.
So it's going to be a hard air transition, but this push from Snake Hips is going to be almost impossible to defend. Ineffable has no units, 3 Stargates coming down,
9
just finishing
Banelings
up.
coming in. And they go for that pylon, they take it down, and everything rushes in. Banelings pop. And the probes are being pulled, trying to get surrounds on those lings, trying to run back into the base and rally up the rest of the boys back at home.
This is
Those
definitely
lings are
going to
moving
put
in.
Snake Hips in a great position, if not win him the game, as there's two
Oh, and that
Void Rays
Stalker's
coming
trying to
out.
go around, but he's going to get surrounded, and that's going to take out the only attacking unit that Ineffable has right now, if you don't count the probes.
This is just a really great read and great play by Snake Hips. I can't tell you the number of times I lose to this
big
when I
wings.
can't rush a Zerg natural like that.
Oh, big hits. But the Void Ray is out. Void Rays are, the Zerglings can't hit the Void Rays, but the Void Ray can only target one at a time. So it is going to take the better part of forever to kill all those lings.
Mothership Core comes up to do some damage, but the DPS of Snake Hips right now is so much higher than Ineffable with a single Void Ray and Mothership Core and losing all of his probes. If we look, he's lost 34 now, and that count's only going to rise as a couple more Void Rays come out. He may be able to push these Zerglings away, but Snake Hips put himself in a commanding position. Snake Hips isn't even expanding again. He
does have 7 lings hanging out in the back of the main base, so he could easily turn those into banelings and run into the probe line again.
Yeah, speed did just finish for him, it looks like, as the lings are now speedlings.
And they're running back in for another swipe.
Yeah, those Zerglings running by did actually cancel a pylon there, I believe, that was going down. There are quite a few Void Rays now which are able to take out the Zerglings a little faster, but all the workers that were killed by Snake Hips is just going to be too much for Ineffable to deal with.
And Snake Hips does move those 7 lings into the farthest reaches of that main base, morphing them into banelings. Hopefully he realizes that all the probes went down to the natural and moved them accordingly.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting what he decides to do with these banelings. I am guessing that he will... I'm just not going to guess. We'll find out.
Snake Hips is droning behind this, however, and getting to lair, so it looks like we'll probably see a Spire on Evolution Bay.
Yeah,
Or Chamber,
Evolution
rather.
Chamber. Looks like he's just going to go for those melee upgrades, look like.
And the Void Rays are moving across the map now.
Banelings coming into the natural, or the main of Ineffable, only to find a single
See
probe.
nothing.
Unfortunate for those Banelings. They're like, oh, shoot, guys. We didn't get the
Mothership Core
memo.
moving forward, picking one off, trying to get a second one off. Oh, and great force field there.
Great force field, keeping those Banelings inside the main base.
So another one is going to fall.
I never thought it would be a good thing to force field Banelings in your base.
4 force fields do, or 4 banelings do fall without doing any damage. 3 Void Rays are overcharged, and they are killing queens at the natural, I guess, the actual third. One does fall.
Actually was not building probes there for quite a while when he was doing that attack with those Void Rays, and he has full Chrono Boost energy on his main Nexus. Now he's gone back to producing those probes, but he missed that. Those 2
And we are
Void Rays are going
at
to come back
42
home.
drones to 18 probes.
Yeah, if we look at the units killed is pretty nasty. At 37 drones killed by Snake Hips with those with that Baneling bust and Zergling. So interested to see what Ineffable's got up his sleeves here, as he's in a pretty rough position. These 2 Void Rays are going to have to hold off the entirety of the Zerg army for about 20 minutes here.
Well, it's going to be really difficult because there are a lot of queens on the map. There's spore crawlers everywhere, and now Snake Hips is taking his natural again, so he is getting some macro play going.
Hydra
Getting
speed and ranged
Nidus.
attack upgrades are coming down as well as a Nidus. So
Yeah.
I'm guessing he doesn't have. He's got. He's morphing in an Overseer over here, so he doesn't have anything in a super awesome position to get that Nidus in. But I'm expecting that in the main base there at some point.
Void
Rays
Rays
coming
are
in
hitting
to-
that natural, and queens are rallying. 4 queens inbound, but it does get canceled, and those Void Rays are going to be chased away.
Ineffable just doing his best to keep Snake Hips' army. Not that there is a lot of army of Snake Hips at the moment, but he's starting to produce some of those Hydras. He's got 3 in his base now. A lot of Queens, though. Just trying to keep him busy dealing with these while Ineffable tries to get himself back in this game, producing 2 more Void Rays. But those Void Rays just aren't going to last against a bunch of well-upgraded Hydras.
That's right, getting the Protoss Arab weapons level 1 as well, so he is not planning on deviating from this trend at all, and the Overseer is moving in now, trying to get some vision for that Nidus Worm.
Yeah, I'm interested to see, but I doubt the Nidus Worm is going to go down right there. But he is loading up all the Queens, so he is definitely going to be putting it down right there because he has no vision anywhere else. Oh, there we go. I was definitely thinking the more appropriate place would be in the main, but oh, this Void Ray is going to come out and meet the Overseer. It's going to likely spell the death of the Overseer. Therefore, no Nidus Worm right now. He's going to have to get... Oh, that Void Ray left the job a little early, so he's going to have to wait a minute to get another... Oh, there it goes, outside the base. So not inside the base like he hoped, but definitely much shorter of a walk than all the way across.
Mm-hmm. Two Voiders are kind of walking the perimeter of the bases of Snake Hips, trying to find the right position to move in and attack. And it looks like if he gets into the main, there's not a lot there to defend, unless he unloads those Queens and Hydralisks. But they are unloading at the front of the natural for Ineffable.
Yeah, worker counts are exactly even with each other right now, but there's a good number of Hydras and a good number of Queens with a lot of energy on those Queens too, so he's going to have some transfuses.
But those Void Rays are taking down the Hydralisk Den. Oh, but they pulled off before they killed it. Oh no!
I think Ineffable was realizing that he needs all of his units back home, but alas, these Hydras are not going to be able, or these Voiders are not going to be able to hold up against this pushing army of Hydras, especially with these transfuses.
Oh my goodness, so many Queens, so many Hydras. This is not looking good for Ineffable. He's really going to need a rabbit out of the hat in order to take care of this, and that Nexus does fall at the natural, and oh, those pros are going to have to walk through all of those Hydras, and GG.
Snake Hips did do a good job of using those transfuses to keep some of those Hydras alive, but, I mean, the story of the game was that Baneling bust, because after that, and Snake Hips had the game won. It was just a matter of when he was going to fully take it or not.
Yep, and that cannon rush at the beginning did do some good damage, but he just wasn't able to follow it up with the right stuff. He didn't. If he had gone more gateway at the beginning, he may have had a chance there against that Baneling bust. It was just, you know, you drew the wrong card, as it were.
Problem is with that cannon rush that you can just spend so many resources on that and be so far behind. So,
yep.
I mean, you literally almost have to kill the Zerg for that to be worthwhile.
Yep, definitely a risky maneuver. And this next game